The story of the oppressed. The story of the oppressed. The story of the oppressed. The story of the oppressed begins in a dark chamber, a room swallowed by gloom. There is a chilling silence, and the only sound that resounds is rattling of cold chains ringing in the presence of despair. Each chain has a strangling hold of constraint on its prisoner's freedom. It pulls them deeper into the darkness. It pulls them deeper into despair. We are in a prison. We are headed towards destruction. Can't get out. There is no way. We're doomed. Are you chained?
We are all chained by oppression.
Love,
race,
class,
tradition,
loss of innocence,
sexuality,
fear,
gender, attachment,
appearance,
self-respect,
suicide.
What is your chain?
Are you chained?
Love is like the rain. It drizzles sometimes. And then when it starts pouring, better be careful, because it will drown you. I try so hard. I give it my best, but now there's nothing left. You stole my heart, then tore it into two. Now I'm falling apart and don't know what to do. Divided by decisions, burned by the fire, confused by your words, tempted by desire. I'm living in the present, but my mind is in the past, not knowing what I'll do, not knowing what will last, blinded by fear, drowning in doubt, struggling to be free, looking for a way out.
I know I am the Negro problem, being wined and dined, answering the usual questions that come to the white mind, which seeks demurely to probe in polite way the why and whither with all of darkness USA, wondering how things got this way in current democratic nights, murmuring gently over Francis Dubois, I'm so ashamed of being white. The lobster's delicious, the wine divine, and center of attention at the Damas table, mine. To be a problem on Park Avenue at 8, it's not so bad. Solutions to the problem, of course, wait.
The American class. Quite contrary to the dream, we see paucity. A cruel parody, a trance for minor races, a trap for the naive. Color is never viewed as shadow related but separated. Gender is never glossed over but emphatic, pronounced to divide. Both fixtures of class, the glaring segregation boldly existing. It's sad for black men, but more so for our Martines, warring white man's order. She is scrutinized for the color of her skin, belittled by men. She is told to be schooled, that education is key, it's made against her. She receives mere jobs to free the affluent from the weight of duties. Some fight, few succeed. The Martins are still many. He is relentless. But worse, the Makuts, our own, plundering women, maligning virtue, ripping up and down, leaving little to salvage, feeding on her strength. But worse are the Marks, our own, who do patronize, too connected, distant. He seems to love her, but intimacy is shoal. He sleeps while she pains. Man gives her a class unique to her hue and gender, her perceived weakness. Overlooking her strength, she is marginalized, classed in this country.
You couldn't find the fear you sought in my eyes, so you spread my legs to see if you could find it in my vagina. What did you see in there? Did you hear the screams of those you tortured? Did you hear the souls of those you murdered? Did you see my vagina stare right in your eyes and tell you to go somewhere? Did you see my dream of a better life in its first trimester? Did you see how resilient it is? Did you see the sun of a brighter tomorrow shining from it? I bet you couldn't look right into its bright light. What did you see in there? Did you feel it when my vagina curled its lips and spat in your face, pushing through the soft tissues and the discharge? Did you take a sneak peek at what's to come your way? Did it scare you? Did you see Lady Justice in there? Did you see how my uterus took shape of a balanced justice scale with the truth on one side and fairness on the other? Did you honestly think you were humiliating me, violating me? Oh, you're mistaking, my pathetic dear. There's nothing in the world I wanted more than you to see the rage in me. And there is no better place to see it than deep down where you were looking.
I did it, she said, because my mother had done it to me. I have no greater excuse. I realized standing here that the two greatest pains of my life are very much related. The one good thing about my being raped was that it made the testing stop. The testing and the rape, I live both every day. My innocence has been lost. Not because I gave it away, but because it's been taken from me. I've been exposed to deadly things because of tradition and others because of ignorance. Why should I as a child know that I'm ugly? Why should I as a child be exposed to domestic violence? Why should I as a child know the sounds of my parents' lovemaking? Shouldn't these things be concealed and protected by my parents? I am protected from nothing and no one. I'm exposed to everything and everyone. Consequently, my innocence has been lost. Their ignorance and their tradition have taken my innocence. Trust me, not test me. You have raped me, mother, and left me confused. Love me, not hurt me. You have raped me, father, and left me to die. Who am I? I have no clue. My age says, be a child. Yet my body says, be a woman. You say, she's a child. But my experience says, I'm a woman. I cannot trust myself because you, mother, failed to trust me. I cannot love myself because you, father, failed to love me. I'm exposed to this mess of a world because you failed to protect me. I'm confused, but you don't even know it. I'm hurting, but you can't even feel it. I'm lost, and I'm confused, and I don't know why. You took my innocence, the very thing that made me me. You didn't ask my permission. You just took me away from me. Now, I'm no longer the same. I will never be the same. Still, I hope to be free. Whether it's with my blue eyes or the cane field, freedom will come.
I realize standing here that the two greatest pains of my life are very much related. The testing and the rape I live both every day. Something so beautiful God created, man distorted, and now I hate it. I remember it like it was yesterday. There was a chill in the wind at night, one like no other. The darkness made it hard for sight, but I knew it was his brother. The strength of his grip, the frame of his stature, as he grabbed my hips before I knew it, I was captured. My throat went dry. I couldn't scream. I tried, but the harder it seemed. Next thing I knew, an unfamiliar place, unsure of what to do, integrity disappearing at a fast pace. My face turned white. I couldn't shift, frozen in fright, thinking I didn't deserve this. Down my cheek, the first tear rolls as he proceeds, my mouth he holds. Our little secret, he whispered in my ear, you better keep it. He became my only fear. Blood droplets departed from inside of me, fast pounding heart, he took my virginity. Without permission, without consent, the one abduction, he would not repent. I thank him now more than ever before he taught me how it felt to be torn. Now this child inside of me I hate. It reminds me of my lost fate. No longer will I be chained by sexuality. I'm free to whom God intended me to be.
Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. In Breath, Eyes, and Memory, Sophie returns to her therapist to discuss her fears of Martine. Sophie worries that Martine is falling apart. Martine has begun hearing voices, that the fetus speaks to her and says hurtful things, and the nightmares are coming back. And things fall apart. Okongwo's whole life was dominated by fear. The fear of failure and of weakness. It was deeper and more intimate than the fear of evil, and of gods and of magic, the fear of the forest and of nature. Red in tooth and claw, Okongwo's fear was greater than those. It was not eternal, but lay deep within himself. It was a fear of himself, lest he should be found to resemble his father.
Let's hear for the women. Let's hear for the women oppressed. In patriarchal societies, their human rights are transgressed by male religious zealots who hate womankind, for to trample on women's rights, any excuse they will find. Let's hear for the women who never receive a fair go of equality in their lives they never may know. They are seen as inferior while males reign supreme, and this can do little for their self-esteem. Let's hear for the women who must play second fiddle to men, where to be born a female means one cannot win. Promotion in work or promotion in life, to an arrogant and unfaithful man expected to be a good wife. Let's hear it for the women. The women men do rule, and many males in positions of power can be cruel. The mothers of the children in life's hardest role, equality they need, and not male control. So, let's hear it for the women oppressed.
Please don't leave me. I can't be alone. I want you around, but I know you're going to leave. Please don't leave me. Stay by my side. Please. I can't do this on my own. I can't live life on my own. Please don't leave me. I want you in my heart. I want you near. I can't have you forever, but please don't leave. Please don't leave me. Love me unconditionally. Please, I need you. I depend on you. Please don't leave me.
Who cares about someone's appearance? They may be ugly, but it's not about the appearance. It's about what lies within them. What makes you beautiful on the inside makes you beautiful on the outside. Beauty comes from within. It doesn't matter how much we try to change our physical appearance, we will always try to look better. Renew your mind, renew your soul, purify your thoughts, and open your heart. Now you will experience true joy. Beautiful. What makes me feel beautiful is my makeup and my hair dye. I love to paint my lips, but I get upset when all anyone sees is the outward appearance. I work on my physical appearance so much, pasting my hair down perfectly, making sure my eyeliner is symmetrical. I get angry when no one sees what my personality can be. But truthfully, I don't work on that half as much as I work on my outward appearance. Maybe my insides aren't beautiful enough to compliment. Maybe my hair is the best thing about me. Maybe I'm not worth what I think I am, unless you can count my beauty.
Respect. Self speaking to self. All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces, worn out faces. It's you again. I am looking at something I cannot relate to, yet I choose to be a part of. Countless times you will look at me and I will look at you, exchanging your thoughts and our reflection with words like, you're worthless, unattractive, and good for nothing, a lost cause. I should believe you, right? It is said that respect is given to those who respect themselves. Respect is given to those who respect themselves. Respect is given to those who respect themselves. Hey, self, can I ask you a question? Who gave you the right to speak negativity when my Creator made me in His image? You are great. You are strong. You were formed from the hands of God. So if that is true, why do you soak up words saturating your subconscious with crippling thoughts, leaving no room for any uplifting? Why? Answer me why. Why do you? Can you even hear me, self? You really want to know? It is because you choose to believe in something other than yourself.
Farewell to the McCouts. Nothing could ever allow me to escape the tragedy that happened that horrific day. Every night, I lay awake, haunted by that traumatic moment in life that ultimately forced me to leave my own homeland of Haiti. How could I, as a young woman, ever forget the emotional scar that you burdened me with? To think you could grab me from the side of the road and pull me into a cane field and force yourself inside me would ever be okay. You removed my innocence in such a chilling fashion that my nerves still quiver every single night. The persistent nightmares always leave me shaking in my own bed, desperately trying to cope with the reality of my situation. And to make matters worse, when I see Sophie, your insidious face flashes back to me, like a cruel joke that has slapped in my face daily. My paranoia deluded me into thinking my own daughter's innocence was in jeopardy as I relentlessly tested her. You tainted my pregnancy experience with Mark. Rather than listen to the baby's voice in my stomach, I must be let go. This knife will end your cruel acts, memories, and expel you from myself for good. Oil libre.
Are you chained? You're doomed. He takes the blows. That is an extraordinary reality. God died for you.
My chain has no hold on me.
Love.
Race.
Class.
Tradition.
Loss of innocence.
Sexuality.
Fear.
Gender.
Attachment.
Appearance.
Self-respect.
Suicide.
No hold on me.
Oppression and breath, eyes, and memory. Like the maternal power she invokes, Danticat's Haiti has the power to destroy and to create. Its people are caught between a place they want to be and a place they have to be. In our other stories set in Haiti, there are suicides, prostitution, miscarriages, murders. The sun shines while the people suffer. Her characters are individuals, not the indistinguishable masses of suffering Haitians featured in the Western media. Through her lens, we hear the screaming, we see the blood, we smell the burning of human flesh. Danticat tells these stories as an act of recovery, to prevent the dismembering of the Haitian spirit for those who would have to leave Haiti and cross over to the other side, the United States. You have lived this long in this strange world, so far from home because you remember. Danticat's stories strongly reflect her desire to remember and retell stories that have kept her Haitian spirit alive in the disjointed American landscape. She chronicles a people's spiritual resistance to oppression without exploring in any depth America's complicated and contradictory connection to it. Unlike her representations of Haitians under military rule and their conflicting desires to both stay and flee, Danticat's Haitian American characters, those like herself who have been educated in the United States, who either have very remote memories of Haiti or none at all, have uncomplicated relationships to their American quote-unquote identity. Are there no stories to tell of America's reluctance to allow Haitians to enter Miami during the AIDS scare? Are there no stories of America leaving thousands of Haitians to drown in the Caribbean Sea rather than give them political asylum? Are there no stories of the horror of America's earlier brutal occupation? These and other stories will surely problematize a second-generation Haitian Americans' Americanness. The stories that Edwidge Danticat has chosen to tell are deeply spiritual and ultimately disturbing. They are a powerful synthesis of the old with the new, the past with the present, a looking backward to go forward, a loud and powerful crack to our ancestors' spirit-giving kirk. My chain has no hold on me.